Hello, we're coming.
Cut the door, cut the door. Cut the door.
Please,
Cut
NCO,
the door.
At this moment in time, okay, you're under arrest on suspicion of breach of a serious crime prevention order. Okay, so you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention, when questioned, something which you later rely in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence, alright? The grounds for this arrest are, since you're released from prison back in the last year, you've been subject to a serious crime prevention order, which obviously has certain restrictions and stuff like that on you. Obviously, as part of that National Crime Agency investigation, we've identified that you've breached that order on a number of occasions, alright? So, this arrest is necessary for a prompt and effective investigation, and obviously prevent the loss and damage of evidence, alright?
Notorious criminal Curtis Warren has been arrested at the home he shares with a prison officer who was jailed for having an affair with him behind bars. The Liverpool-born gangster, who has served multiple jail sentences, was arrested just before 6 a.m, July the 5th, at home of Stephanie Smith-White, who is 42 years old, in Bolden Colliery, South Tyneside. He's being quizzed by police on suspicion of committing numerous breaches of a serious crime prevention order relating to the alleged unauthorised use of mobile phones, vehicles, bank accounts and travel. The order came into force after his release from prison in November 2022 for drug trafficking offences. Smith-White was jailed for 2 years in February 2020 at Durham County Court after she admitted 2 counts of misconduct in a public office. Curtis Warren is thought to have moved to Smith-White's semi-detached home in the residential street of Bolden Colliery. He was arrested in an operation involving Merseyside Police and North East Regional Organised Crime Squad. The breach of a serious crime prevention order is a criminal offence, subject to a maximum sentence of 5 years, an unlimited fine or both. The Toxteth native was once dubbed Target 1 by Interpol, had the order imposed or was released from the maximum security prison, Whitemore. He was made subject to restrictions including a ban from instant messaging apps, WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, being in possession of more than £1,000 cash. He had to give police a day's notice if he wanted to use a friend's car, and he had a ban on travelling outside England and Wales without giving 7 days prior notice. A neighbour says, "I've never seen a man there, so it comes as a big shock. We've been here for 2 years, and I think she's been there for all that time." The neighbour said she has seen 2 Range Rovers, one black and the other white, with blacked out windows parked at the address and coming and going recently. Most neighbours in the rundown street refused to speak about the occupants of the address that was raided at 6 a.m. on July the 5th. Curtis Warren became an international drug trafficker worth tens of millions of pounds after being born in Toxteth and leaving school with no qualifications. In 1997 he was jailed for 12 years following a Dutch police investigation that established he was importing cocaine and cannabis worth £125 million into Britain. In the same year he made his appearance on the Sunday Times Rich List as a property developer, and by 2005 the newspaper estimated his wealth was around £76 million. He has also organised shipments of guns and hand grenades, tools of the gangland trade. In jail he established himself as a hard man when he beat a Turkish inmate to death. He was sentenced to a further 4 years for manslaughter. He was released in 2007 and moved to Jersey. 2 years later he was jailed there for 13 years for a plot to ship £1 million of cannabis to the island. The Jersey court drew on evidence from his life in Holland and heard how Dutch police intercepts of his phone calls showed he had squirreled away his money in investments. He is claimed by the National Crime Agency that he has invested £4 million in gold mining venture in Guyana, as well as more money in petrol stations, properties in numerous countries, and a pallet business. The judges were told the stark fact that Warren had ways of laundering his assets in ways that are simply untraceable. In one recording, he was heard to say that he used a cheap money launderer who only charged 1% commission. It was said on 10 separate occasions between 91 and 96, he passed around 10 million through the contact, meaning he laundered a staggering £100 million. From this figure alone, it's calculated that his assets, after inflation, were worth more than 170 million. The gangster's former barrister, Anthony Barraclough, says, "I'll confirm that he was arrested at 6 a.m. and any breaches will be minor transgressions. These will be fine interpretations or restrictions. I imagine he was in Tyneside to visit a friend." The National Crime Agency has said officers from the agency carried out searches at the location in Bolden, another address in Royal Albert Dock area of Liverpool. Mobile devices, documents and a quantity of cash were seized, and they are now being examined by investigators. Once criminals come into our radar, they never leave, and the National Crime Agency will take action over breaches.